The Selfless Gift. In a small village surrounded by rolling hills and flowing rivers, there lived a man named Raghav. He was a wealthy merchant who owned a large estate, with many servants, a grand house, and countless treasures. Despite his prosperity, Raghav was a lonely man. He spent most of his time accumulating more wealth, hoarding gold, silks, and jewels, but he never felt truly content. His life was filled with material wealth, yet he was unfulfilled. He had no close friends, no family to share his joy with, and no sense of purpose beyond his endless pursuit of more. One day, as Raghav sat alone in his grand house, he overheard a conversation between two villagers. They were speaking of a great teacher, Buddha, who had come to the nearby town to share his wisdom. The villagers spoke of the joy and peace that Buddha's teachings had brought to their lives. Intrigued by these words, Raghav decided to visit Buddha and seek answers to the emptiness he felt inside. When Raghav arrived at the temple where Buddha was teaching, he was struck by the calm presence of the great teacher. Buddha was sitting under a tree, surrounded by his disciples, radiating peace and contentment. Raghav, eager to find answers, approached him. Buddha, Raghav said, I am a wealthy man, yet I feel empty. I have everything anyone could want, but I do not know true happiness. I have spent my life accumulating wealth, but it seems that the more I have, the less fulfilled I feel. What is the secret to finding real joy? Buddha smiled gently and motioned for Raghav to sit beside him. Raghav, Buddha said, you have spent your life gathering possessions, but true joy does not come from what we own. The more we cling to material things, the more they weigh us down. True happiness comes not from accumulating, but from giving. Raghav was puzzled. But Buddha, I have given gifts to those in need. I have donated money to the poor. I have helped others, but still, I feel empty. What more should I give? Buddha's eyes sparkled with understanding. You have given, yes, but perhaps you have not given from the heart. True giving comes not from a sense of obligation, but from love and selflessness. When you give without expecting anything in return, when you give for the joy of seeing others happy, then you will discover the true joy of giving. Raghav listened intently, but he still did not fully understand. Buddha continued, if you truly wish to find joy, give away everything you own. Do not hold on to anything that binds you. By doing so, you will free yourself from the weight of attachment and discover the true freedom that comes from selfless giving. Raghav was taken aback. Everything I own? He asked in disbelief. But I have so much, my house, my land, my wealth. Are you asking me to give it all away? Buddha nodded. Yes, Raghav. When you give without attachment, you will experience a freedom like no other. The joy you seek is found in the selfless act of giving, not in what you keep for yourself. Though Raghav hesitated, he decided to follow Buddha's advice. Over the next few days, he gave away his wealth to the villagers. He gave his land to those in need, his jewels to the poor, and his grand house to a family that had nowhere to live. As he gave away his possessions, Raghav felt a sense of lightness he had never experienced before. The heavy burden of ownership, which had weighed on him for so long, began to lift. When Raghav had given away everything, he returned to the temple where Buddha was teaching. He approached the great teacher, his heart full of a joy he could not explain. Buddha, Raghav said, his voice filled with gratitude, I have given away all that I owned. And in doing so, I feel a joy, a peace, that I have never known. I thought that wealth would bring me happiness, but it was only in giving that I found true freedom. Thank you. Buddha smiled, his eyes filled with compassion. Raghav, you have learned the most important lesson of all. True joy comes not from what we possess, but from what we give. When we give from the heart, we free ourselves from the chains of greed and attachment, and we discover the abundance of the spirit. The joy you feel now is the joy of living in harmony with others, of sharing in their happiness. This is the true wealth that cannot be measured in gold or jewels. From that day forward, Raghav's life was transformed. He no longer sought to accumulate wealth, but instead, he devoted himself to helping others. He lived a simple life, filled with love and compassion for all. And though he no longer had material possessions, he found himself richer in ways he had never imagined. His heart was full, and his spirit was at peace. As the years passed, Raghav became known throughout the village as the man whose selfless giving had brought joy to all who met him. People came to him not for wealth, but for his wisdom and kindness. Raghav had found what he had been searching for all along, true happiness, found not in possessions, but in the joy of giving. Moral of the story, true happiness and fulfillment do not come from accumulating wealth or possessions. The greatest joy comes from selfless giving, from offering what we have without expecting anything in return. When we let go of attachment to material things and give from the heart, we free ourselves from the burdens of greed and discover a deeper, more lasting happiness. Giving enriches the spirit and brings true peace. Thanks for watching. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to give it a like, share it with others who might benefit, and subscribe to the channel for more valuable content like this. Hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. See you in the next video.